Hey guys, what's going on? It's Simon here. It's pretty late in Spain right now. It's just 22 minutes past 2 in the morning, so I'm pretty shattered. And yeah, you can probably tell. But I wanted to give a really, really quick update just on the Tomb Forks because it's been a pretty active day, a pretty busy day, and a pretty painful day to a lot of investors, especially investors in a couple of Tomb Forks on Phantom, notably 2 ohm and 3 ohm. So I wanted to kind of just share my thoughts on what I think is going on right now. So in front of us, we've got Tomb Finance. I've got a video on Tomb Finance if you've not seen it, so check that out if you want to know a bit more about Tomb Finance. But presumably most people watching this know what Tomb Finance is. So there's some debate right now whether Tomb still have their partnership with 2 ohm and 3 ohm. It feels at the moment that they potentially don't, or it's potentially at risk. Seems to be some sort of disagreement. The Tomb team have gone public with that on Twitter. 2 ohm and 3 ohm are trying to manage these expectations, understandably so, and reassure investors. But if we just take a look at the 2ohm website quickly, we can see that 2ohm has lost peg, so it's down about 50% or nearly about half its peg against Phantom, and T shares has just kind of completely capitulated, fallen off a cliff. It's the same thing as well with 3ohm as well. So this has come down to nearly a third of the peg, and 3 shares have totally come off a cliff of 2. So if we just have a little look at what's happened over the last, over the last like few days, we can see we're quite comfortably above peg really ever since ever since the start of the project. We've not really gone that low. This is on 2ohm, and we can kind of see we've always been above peg. Did we go below here? No, we didn't even go below here. So we've always been above peg. Obviously, at times this has been a bit inflated. I remember looking at this project a couple of weeks ago myself, obviously when the Harrier announcement came out, the partnership, and that's when I really first got highlighted to me, and I kind of said to myself, whoa, this is just too crazy. This is just, I mean, too far above peg. Obviously, the gravity in these tokens is to come back down to the price of Phantom. So that's what this one's done over time. I had a little look again at the project over the last week. I saw it was down at peg. I thought to myself, should I dip my toes in or not? I decided not to at the time. I actually picked up a tiny bit of 3ohm. So if we just kind of go back and look at the 3ohm chart as well, we're going to see something very, very similar. And I mean, when I say I picked up a tiny bit of the 3ohm at peg, we just go to the Phantom price. Obviously, complete bloodbath today. But yeah, if we look at the sort of peg on this, yeah, this is hovering right around the 1-to-1 peg, and I said to myself, okay, let's put a tiny position in, a little bit of skin in the game. Let's just see how this one goes, like a few $100s. So yeah, not big money, not swinging for the fences, just to kind of give myself a feel, because these are projects that I watched ever since the hype. I saw the tokens go from way over peg down to peg, and I said, okay, I can probably dip my toes into the market here. So that's what I did. Obviously, I did not expect what has happened over the last sort of 24, well, yeah, 24, 48 hours, really. Yeah. I mean, it is 24 hours, right? That we've just totally capitulated by the looks of it. So yeah, I can completely understand why anybody that had been in either the 2ohm or the 3ohm projects would have been totally shaken out of this. I mean, if we look at if we just look at 2 shares as well, this is the equivalent of your T shares token. If we just take a quick look at this while it loads up, then I can say, I mean, you know what's happened. I can tell you right now, like, this is just totally come off a cliff, and it's the same with the three shares token as well. So doesn't seem to want to work right now, but yeah, it's just been totally annihilated. I mean, look at that from a high of 8,000, obviously earlier on in the month after all the hype, when Tuum was well over a peg. Now, like from 8,000 down to 600. I mean, it's just absolutely insane volatility, and obviously that highlights the risk of these projects, and that highlights the risk of chasing them and chasing those yields, and buying into the hype, really. So for me, this was a complete avoid up until today, really. So yeah, and then on the 3 shares as well, I mean, it's a very similar story. I don't know the magnitude, whether the magnitude is quite the same, but I've got a feeling, yeah, I mean, the magnitude is even greater. You're going from nearly 30,000 down to 900. So yeah, absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, if you bought up here, say your prayers. Yeah, so as I've just alluded to there, I've actually started to buy in a little bit. Now, I'll just add to this before I go too much further, that look, if I'd been an investor in either of these, and I bought in anything up here, anything around sort of 10,000 G, anything over probably 5,000, even bought in here, like literally like a day ago, then I would be feeling the pain. I'm not going to lie. I would be absolutely, oh my God, just be absolutely devastated by this price action. And I honestly don't know if I'd be able to hold through this. I'd probably be feeling the urge to capitulate and completely puke on all of my 2 ooms and 3 ooms and 2 shares and 3 shares. Okay. So I'll just say that right now, this is very difficult for a lot of people. And I sympathize if you lost money during this. I'm looking at this from somebody from the outside that has been looking at these projects for the last month, day on day, and saying, is this a good time to get involved? No. And finally, I'm looking today and saying, look, this looks like complete capitulation. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of fear here. I'm prepared to step in. And, I'm not giving out financial advice here at all. I'm just purely saying this is what I'm doing. Likewise, if you're in this project, then you've got to ask yourself, do I hold here, or do I, is it a significant position in my portfolio that I don't need the risk, and the pain's too much, and I need to capitulate, and I need to sell so I can focus on other areas of my portfolio and just cap that loss? Or have you literally gone into this project with a very small amount of capital, amount of money that you're prepared to lose, and now you can say, right, I can just cut that out, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to mark that down 100%. That money's gone. If I bought in here at 7,500, it's down to 900. I've lost nearly 90%. I'm just going to cut that. I'm going to look at this with a fresh pair of eyes. I'm going to, just ignore that capital, and I'm going to say, right, I've got another, 1-2% of my portfolio here that I'm prepared to say, right, I'm prepared to risk this by going in. And in a way, you're obviously going to lower your cost average in these tokens. I'm not telling you what to do at all, but that would be the way that I'd be looking at it if I was in that position. Obviously, that doesn't help. It doesn't mean you're going to sleep any better at night. But yeah, this is devastating collapse in both of these projects, both 2 ohm and 3 ohm. Absolutely devastating. And yeah, I've gone on a bit longer here than I wanted to, but I just really wanted to say my sympathies are out there as a Tomb Fork investor, to either of the investors in either of these projects, like any investor in either of these projects. And yeah, I think from my perspective right now, as somebody that's not been invested in these projects and not gone through that downside and all that pain and frustration and anger, I'm actually looking at these projects as potentially today being a decent place to say, right, I'm prepared to put a little bit in here. Not talking big amounts, put a little bit in, like $100 here, $100 there, over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and just kind of see where it goes. You know, money I'm prepared to lose on the basis that, look, these projects should at some point, given enough time, get back to their peg. Obviously, they're still paying decent returns on your staked capital anyway. So, you know, for me, I'm looking to scoop up a little bit of 2 ohm, a little bit of 3 ohm, and kind of see where we go from here over the next few days. And yeah, obviously, I'll keep you updated over the next few days with how I get on. Another quick one to mention as well is this. You might have heard about this as well if obviously you're following YouTube with what are we doing here? I'll have to switch network. If you're following YouTubers on Tomb Forks, obviously Tim Malcolm is behind this project here, Degen Finance, and yeah, it's just going through its Genesis pool phase today. The actual launch is going to be tomorrow, so we got 15 hours to go. It's got a decent total value locked already. Let me just connect my wallet so we can, okay, it's populating already. So yeah, nearly 17 million. Yeah, exciting project. So this is another one that I've started to get in myself. I got in on the whitelist, also staking in the Genesis, and yeah, it's looking pretty encouraging. I do back Tim. I do believe in him. I've sort of known him for a little while from the TV, from his 90-Day Fiance. Yeah, so yeah, he seems to have a good team together. He seems to know what he's doing, and he seems to be building, shall we say, like a more sustainable sort of Tomb Fork project here. And yeah, best of luck to him. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that's another thing I'm looking at in addition to currently 2 ohm and 3 ohm. Obviously, still doing bits with Tomb as well, and you know, I've got various other yield farming plays over other protocols I mentioned before, like your liquid drivers, your Beethovens and stuff like that. So I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. Best of luck to everybody. Remember, stay safe. If you do like the content, please do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.